Do you spell anything?
Hmm?
How do you spell anything? How is that?
Uh, I
How
don't
does anyone
know.
spell anything? How
What
does
is
anyone do
writing?
anything?
Things are hard.
Yeah,
Life
Oh
is
my God.
alrighty. I think
life
we
be
are
lifin'.
live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Card Slingers Coast to Coast. I'm Melissa Cynova, and these are my co-hosts, Hilary Parry Haggerty and Jamie motherfucking Elford. Today, in our journey of talking about every single card in the deck, we've hit the eights. The eights are round
Are
and
great.
crossed in the middle. And oh, not the number eight. Okay. The card eight. So we're going after the seventh, which is kind of a spiky card.
Hmm.
So what would you describe the vibe of the eights, Hillary?
I like a good eight. It's like one of my magical numbers, or if you want to
Yeah.
call it like angelic numbers. So like notice.
Note the necklace, please, of 888. Yes.
Yes. Like
Very
I
nice.
just love it so much. I feel like it's a magic like eight, it's a magic number.
Hmm.
Um
Here's our title.
Eight, it's a magic number. I feel like
Yeah.
we've done that before though. Like that
I
might
don't
be
care.
the title of another.
We can
Well,
repeat
I don't
ourselves. We
care.
are
yes, we
Legion.
can. Not only that, but 8 is my lucky number.
Well,
So
there you
yeah,
go.
8s are
My
great.
Yeah.
lucky number too, 8 and
I
13.
21
8,
is
So
mine.
8,
Fuck
8
off.
and
But
11, and multiples. 8 times 11 is truly my favorite number. It's also double happiness in Chinese. But for me, if we're
you turn
talking
it on
about
its
8,
side
yeah,
and it
ad
goes
infinity.
infinity. Yeah.
Right here, here's the strength card. This is the quote unquote
exactly.
original 8. And look at that, the
And there's
lemon
an eight
mask.
above her head.
And this is, a Leo card, not just
Nice.
because the cat in the 8th month,
Yeah.
but yeah, we've got that. And when
Kitty.
you look at all the other 8s that come from strength, you've got, a lot of trials and tribulations. Like, here's the 8 of Swords.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nobody
the eight
wants
of
to be tied
swords,
up and bound. They want to be
if
safe.
you're,
Well,
yeah.
well,
This is what I'm going through right now. The 8 of Cups, walking away from things that no longer serve me to find myself.
mhm.
The 8 of Wands, which I've always hated this card because there's no people, but I get it because in a way, this is all about your passions and your fires and are you coming or going to me?
Swift news, I like to call it too.
Nice. And then the
Message
8 of
arriving by
Cups are
arrow.
Pentacles, and it's doing the hard work and it sucks.
Yeah.
The card of a craftsperson.
So there's
Yes.
an element of doing with all of these. There's an element of doing something. Even the eight of swords, as she stands there, as she stands there tied up among, she's doing something. She's doing nothing very deliberately.
Yeah.
Mm.
She's doing nothing. And
Shall
that
I
is a
quote?
choice. Yes,
Shall
you
I
could quote
quote?
me from my book. I'm dying here.
Cynova
That's
doesn't want to
fine.
quote Cynova, so
We were
Sonova does
saying
not quote
this.
Sonova because Sonova is not a dick.
Well, we were saying this
I
right
mean,
before.
sorry.
We were saying this right before hitting record on the episode, and it's just like, no. You can quote me to me, but I don't want to quote. I don't want to quote from me. So I'm just like, okay, fair enough.
Because that's
Also, you couldn't
douchebagging,
find
and
your
we don't have
copy.
any truck with that.
And so it's like we know we're all fire signs, but we're not like that, like
Yeah,
fire sign. Okay.
Well, speak for
I do
So
have
yourself.
the
a rising sign in
eights.
Aquarius. Settle down.
So the eights, according to the book of Melissa, are about hope. The eights are an interesting bunch. The pentacles are talking about hard work and investing in yourself for a better future. The wands are similar, telling you to choose the best path and pour yourself into it. The cups and swords are fairly bleak, though. While the pentacles and wands are in the midst of hope and determination, the other two are occurring in the moment before the hope kicks in. There's still confusion, still unsurety, but the person is this close to getting that spark. If we look at tarot cards as potentially kinetic, we look to what is actually happening in the reading. That moment where you raise your hand up to be helped up, the moment where you decide it's time to go, pain or no, those are the moments in time that keep our hearts lifted. It's about hope, baby.
Yeah.
It's hope.
Oh, is she blushing?
Shut up.
She blushing. No, I
pretty
can
good.
totally see that. I mean, like, hope that the work gets better, hope that your passion, returns, hope that you
Yeah.
find what you're looking for within and without, and hope that you get out of this goddamn bindings and away from these fucking swords, yo.
Right. I mean,
Or
and look
even,
at the ground. Like even the
yeah.
floor of the Eight of Swords, the ground is covered with mucky, gross water. And you know that water means emotion. So everything is just saturated
Mhm.
with emotion there. And
It's
you're
murky.
surrounded by swords, and swords are the intellect. Swords are your thoughts. So all your thoughts are being bogged down by all this emotional crap. And you have to clear away and think clearly and cleanly,
Mhm.
get free of it.
Mhm.
You have to plot, you have to plan, you have to do things, you know?
Well, and some hidden meanings of this card, like Wald and Ruth Amberstone of the Tarot School with their correspondence program, they say this is a card of initiation. If you look at all the swords, they're flat. They're like this towards the person. They're
Yeah.
not on the cutting edge side. They're all flat. So this person is also blindfolded and cannot, touch, so they can't seek around with their hands. And yet they're they can taste, they can smell, they can hear, and their
They
feet are
can walk,
free. So
they can
they
fucking
can
walk.
walk and figure out their surroundings and where those sharp edges are and where they're not, and they can technically get out of there by themselves. So
Yeah.
it's almost this weird kind of Western occult, and card of initiation, where you got to find that inner strength. You got to have the hope that you can get out, and the knowledge, again, going back to what you were saying, Liz, the knowledge that you know the right things,
Yeah.
and you don't let your emotional body harm you, which fuck. Something else
I'm
I'm going
glad
through.
I'm
Something
glad that
else
you
I'm going
brought
through.
that. I'm
Mhm.
glad that you brought that up because I never really like most of the time when I see the Eight of Swords, and we will get into the nitty-gritty details on each and every
Yes.
one of the eights as we proceed through this series of podcast episodes. But like the Eight of Swords, I never quite saw as initiation. So I'm glad you brought that up. Like, thank you, Ruth
Yeah.
Ann Wald.
Yeah.
But like if you happen to come from a pagan tradition or a witchcraft tradition where you've like felt that point of the athame and you've been
Mhm.
blindfolded, and it's just like, how do you come to this circle in perfect love and perfect trust? Like, it's just like you have, and you often blindfolded when that happens. Spoiler
Yep.
alert. So you almost have this sense, like when you're blindfolded, to like really answer those questions, I think, in more depth than you would had you not have the blindfold. Like if you were not blindfolded, like I feel
Yep.
like it gives you that opportunity to go within a little bit more and answer the questions that you're asked a little bit more in depth. So that I'm going to take that into my reading space whenever I see
Yeah.
the Eight of Swords next for a client.
Right.
Awesome. I taught you something today. Yay.
Yeah.
I
But
really like,
mhm.
if we're looking at the Eight of Wands, I like the idea of reaching out and grabbing one and going with it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because they're just flying swords or flying wands or whatever.
Yeah.
But the goal is to get what's in the background. We want that house that Jamie's fingers on. You
There we
know,
go.
we want to live on that hill past the river. We want everything to grow like the wands are growing. We want everything to expand. We're ready for new things. So we grab onto one of them and take it for a ride, man. So
But we
total
also have
witchcraft
that
card.
hope, we have that hope that our fire, our passions, our creativity, and all that stuff that's
Yeah,
associated with us fire folk,
fire.
are there to
Right.
support, stabilize us.
Yay.
Word.
I can't wait. I
Yeah.
can't wait.
But yeah, no, it's
Exciting.
just really funny that, to me, and I'm going to get personal, this is what's going on in my divorce.
Right.
Why I left, because I wasn't getting needs met. The relationship wasn't a choice anymore. Go back to the lovers card is choice. I wasn't being chosen. I didn't want to choose them, that
And
sort of
there's a fucking eclipse. If you look, the sun is
thing. Mhm.
covering the moon. There's an
Yeah, it's a
eclipse in this
dark,
card,
yeah,
which means that crazy shit's going on.
total
Um,
eclipse of the soul.
yeah, so to speak. So I've seen this come up in a lot in dry alcoholics, folks who are sober.
Hmm.
I've seen this come up a lot for people who quit smoking, for people who have left their jobs, for people who have left relationships, for people who have just showed up and went, you know what? Not for me, not today. And that's a pretty big choice, especially since it's cups, because it's an emotional choice.
Yeah.
So we want to think about what hopes do they have to make them leave what they're going through? What hope can they hold on to beat feet? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's, stuff that I've been working on. Plus, I've had another grief session with somebody else. And I look at this as that ability to get beyond the murky feelings and, let logic in where, feelings are tricky. We think we want to trust them. And yet at the same time, they're not rational. What is that sword side, the mental, thing, and the two need to be in harmony with one another to be able to get your needs met, figure
Right.
that eclipse, that dark night of the
Yeah,
soul going
it's
on in this
interesting.
card.
And I think that let's see, what did we do? Pentacles. The pentacles to me are about failure because none of those look alike, right? None of those pentacles that he's working on look alike. They're all kind of wonky. Well, they're not supposed to be anyway. They're different sizes. But in the original Rider-Waite-Smith, they're all a little bit different. And I always see that as okay, I'll try again. Okay, I'll try again. Okay, I'll
Practice
try
makes
again.
better. Not perfect, but better.
Better. Yes. Okay, I'll try again. That's what the Eight of Pentacles is for me. I will fucking try it again. Let's go.
Can I quote you again?
Yeah.
This card is
Hillary.
about being discerning about your own work and not giving up until you get it right.
Wow, this author Cynova is pretty smart.
God, right? Jesus.
She knows her shit, man.
Oh, well, I mean, I think again, this is an intro to the eights, so we will get more in depth on each and every card.
Yeah, this is gonna be a short one, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but knowing that like we've said for pretty much all of the intros to the minor arcana, we've got basically it's half and half. It's just we've got two generally positive cards and two generally I don't want to say negative cards, but difficult, difficult, a little bit challenging.
Yeah. Because what is life if not challenging? And what is tarot if not a reflection of life?
So question, these are the two that I find challenging, walking away from something that no longer serves you and the being bound and needing to find your way out versus, to me, hard work. While it's a challenge, it's good. It's like, writing that book. You go through the draft 1, draft 2,
34,000 words,
proposal work, etc. And then, of course, choosing that where you want to be and eventually having that hope and the desire get you. So I say these two work together real well.
Yeah.
The others are kind of the harder, but work real well together. What about you two? What do you two see the challenge?
I think that's really I think I agree with you on which ones are the challenging and which ones are the not as challenging. But I've noticed that it's just it sometimes flips with the different numbers. It's not always the cups and the pentacles that are the positive cards. And in this case, it's not. We have a very challenging card in the cups, in the Eight of Cups. So I again, something I didn't really consider where it's just it's always the pentacles and the cups are the positive ones. And it's just not for the eights.
When you walk away from something, that is the hardest thing. When you have to let somebody go or let you go because it's not this becomes.
And if you look at how the water is behaving in that, look how the water is acting in that card. It's all kind of spread out, and you have to be really careful not to fall in. Don't fall in the water. That's when emotions get you. You have to mind your steps.
And the land is spiky,
Land is spiky.
Sure, there's green growth in the distance, but look at this crap. This rocky, almost looks like pumice, from a volcano.
He
there's some sort of explosion.
The figure in it really had to make themselves be careful walking away from what they had. They had to use care.
possibly choosing the high road sometimes when I see it in readings. When I see the Eight of Cups, of course, depending on the other cards that come
Right,
up,
right.
it might be a choice to take the high road, no matter how the other person or the situation is unfolding. But notice how that high road in the Eight of Cups is not smooth. We're not saying it's the easiest thing to do when you
Right,
have that imagery. It's probably the harder thing to do.
right.
So here's another thing we need to bring up about the eights. Not all decks will have strength as the eight. A lot of the Toth Crowley style decks will have justice there. So the 8 and 11s tend to get swapped sometimes. And while obviously I think all of us have strength, or at least I resonate more with strength as, you know, the eighth card for
Right.
various astrological personal meanings, those that use those other systems will see something different, where justice is, falling into the hands of fate, or, having the karmic repercussions come to you, whether those are good or bad. And, that goes along well with the Eight of Swords, that idea of that initiation, justice bringing you what you need, or releasing something. It also ties in with the Eight of Cups, with releasing things or bringing things to you, et cetera, et cetera. So you can also look at justice as, another possible eight in a way.
Yeah.
Another thing I was thinking of when I was doing this morning, it hit that, what is an eight but a double of four? So if you think about it, you need to learn your boundaries, your position, and how you're going to deal with the, world first before you can find your inner strength,
Yep.
And then not only that, but if you double the eight, you get the Tower card, which is, to me, shore up your foundations. And the only way you can do that is if you've done some inner strength work, or have a good sense of what justice is in your life, because you've set good boundaries, good rules and boundaries for yourself, so that you don't get fucked over. So,
all right.
Yeah, more
Hold on,
things.
Hilary, you look like you wanted to contribute something before we go.
Hold on. Also, quoting from Who Are You in the Tarot by Mary K. Greer, which may be now this is the second edition. I think the third edition is called Archetypal Tarot. Yeah. So we don't know why they rename it in each of the different editions. The first edition was Tarot Constellations, the second edition was this, the third edition, we don't know. Anyway, but it's about birth cards and year cards. But when you're talking about the constellation of strength, you can also choose to include number 17, the star card, as well. Because in the addition, to get to that particular birth card or year card, the star might figure in as one of the numbers that comes up as like a hidden factor or a teacher card. So consider the star is also a part of the constellation of strength.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, and
I love that. I love how you said that as part of the constellation of strength. Very lovely.
Well,
all right, I think we're done.
I think Mary Greer. We've got a lot to talk about with the eights.
Greer. Right. There's a lot to be discussed. Oh, I see your cat in the background. Oh my goodness.
Oh, hey,
hi, Lily.
This is Lily Boo, and it's gonna be 81 degrees today. So I've got everything closed because of that. Trying to save money and power by not my AC. So everything's all closed up, and she's like, I don't like this.
This is Leia.
Hey, we got kitty time. Hi, Lily.
Leia.
And hi, Leia.
She says hi.
This is why you want to join live sometimes, because we get interaction between.
Is anybody watching?
Whenever I do this, it means I'm petting Lily.
Nice.
I feel like she was vocal
because I have V's new book, Siobhan Reedus.
Oh, yes.
But I put it in the bedroom because I'm reading it. But Siobhan has really good things to say about the 8 too. Well, sorry, I'm eating crackers. I'm like, I took my medicine and my stomach's upset because I didn't eat anything. Yes.
Thank you.
Tarot for the Flawed and Fearless by Siobhan Reedus. That's right.
AKV.
Yep.
Our tarot best
friend.
Look at her. Something else I wanted to point out is Yesbelt Fernandez, who is also a Reader Studio friend and favorite, wrote New Moon Life Design. and this has
Ooh.
tarot and other things inside. So yeah, a lot of our good tarot folk community friends are, publishing awesome new works. And, my friend, yeah.
Elise
Yes,
Einhorn.
yes.
And then Jenna Matlin is having a tarot and mediumship book by Weiser coming out this October. So
That's
yeah,
exciting.
right? Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be so good.
She spoke to me about it, and she's got PDF galleys, but she's willing to give us a PDF galley if we interview her. So hey, that might be something.
We need to get our friends
Whoa.
on, I think. We need to get Siobhan, and we need to
Yes.
get Elisa Einhorn, and get Jenna and all of our homies on.
Yeah.
Card Slingers PSA. If you have written a tarot book or a tarot related book or tarot,
Or a deck.
or you want to talk about tarot, please let us know. We would love to feature you. Join us, won't you?
I mean,
Charles
this
can't be the only one we fucking interviewed. Like, come on. I love
We've done
Charles.
a bunch of
but he can't be
interviews
the end all.
before.
Yeah, we've
Well,
done
I wasn't here for them.
we did Teresa.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for that.
That's right. Okay. Well,
Perfect.
we've done other things. We've done guests, people
I know.
on. I think we even had V on at one
We
point.
have
Yeah,
had
that's
V
it.
on, the Dirty 36.
Yep, the
on
Dirty
Letterman.
36. V's got a great way of naming stuff. I know we're pulling away from the eights, but
36 is divided by 8.
Yep.
So
The one thing I like about where we're headed is that we're on, the eights, the minor eights. There's
shut up, Hilary.
there's not much left, after the court cards. So what I'd like to see us do is do more book reviews, or, guests / more go back to topical stuff. And
man.
I don't know, be weird and crazy, because
It's
that's
gonna be
what
fun.
tarot
So-
folk do.
Homework.
Yes.
If you have suggestions, like, okay, look at the eights.
Mhm.
Duh. But if you have suggestions of people that you want to see on Card Slingers, like, please let us know. cardslingerscc@gmail.com. We say it every episode in the audio version. And then also I had someone reach out about having, their name is Beck, and they are a tarot reader in Pennsylvania, and they are fighting to
Change the law.
legalize tarot reading in the
Yeah.
state of Pennsylvania, which is and court date needs to be set and everything. So I believe they're looking to get on a bunch of podcasts, especially podcasts related to this, which I think is insanely related to our podcast.
Yeah, we need to
because
compare
if you
that.
look
Business
at
of
the
tarot
laws,
St. Louis County still has a law in the books.
Most places do.
counties do. So I think that would be a great addition. So I will do
too.
the legwork, or we will do the legwork behind the scenes.
Yeah, please do. I mean,
and
again,
see if they want to come on and talk about what they're doing, because I
All
think it's
right.
very important.
It
yes.
sounds like we're on the right path, you guys. Thank you for joining us for the 8s. We have shit to do, so we're going to bounce. And join us next time for the 8 of
Wands.
Wands, because we always start with wands, because they have BDE.
Well, yeah, that, and we're fire signs.
All right.
Fire
Have a good
sign's
day.
gonna fire sign.